Can you just let me finish?
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice.
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
And we are back for another episode of Let Me Finish. It is Sunday, and I'm here with Jillian and Michael.
Ooh.
Okay.
Glad to be back.
All right, and I'm Janice, and so we're just going to go right into it, just jump in and talk about our week. So as far as my week goes, it was pretty chill week. This is my last, I have this coming week is my last week before I go on vacation, so I'm super excited. I'm going on a cruise for my bestie's bachelorette. So she's having her bachelorette party, her bachelorette week on a cruise. So we're all going to Cozumel and Progresso. So I've just been trying to get everything together for the trip because I haven't been even kind of. So even this morning I went and got some stuff to wear, and I have some stuff in my cart I need to hit purchase. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for my week. Yeah. Good stuff. I'm excited.
Lucky you.
I need a vacation.
Yeah, I bet.
I haven't had a vacation. I haven't had a week-long vacation since 2022. So it's time.
I can't remember the last time I had one, but it's been a minute. Yeah.
It's been a minute. I mean,
I think Mexico was the last time we had a full, relaxing vacation.
a full week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We went to Dominican. Was it Dominican?
No, it was Mexico. We went with Stacy and...
What was it, Cancun? No.
It was Mexico. I don't know if it's...
It was
maybe.
Dominican Republic.
No, that was
Oh, that was
COVID.
the year before.
That was before COVID.
Where was it?
It was Garza Blanca.
It's like Cancun. I think it was Cancun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had fun.
Either way, it was a good time. So, yeah, that was the last time I went on full vacation. Last year, we went on those 2 days, but it was South Carolina, so I wouldn't count that as a vacation.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying we didn't have a good time. There was
not a vacation. That's like a quick trip.
Yeah. It was literally a weekend trip. We went for 2 days. So our cousin was retiring from the military, so he was doing they call it a change of duty ceremony. Yeah. So it's a really big deal, and they do make it's a really nice ceremony, and they make a really big deal out of it. So it was very nice.
He was really high up there, so I think it was a really big deal.
It was a
for
really
his
big
retirement.
deal. Yeah, and then he had
Command Sergeant Major is what he was.
Yes, and he actually had a dinner for everyone. So
nice.
the family and couple of his friends from the military, people who had already retired out of the military, and they're like, yeah, we're coming, just let us know the date. And just it was so sweet. Yeah, it was we almost didn't make it because we had really bad weather, and we're just like, I hope we make it.
Yeah,
because our mom flew out in the morning. She totally made it, but towards because we didn't fly until 6 or 7 after work, and it was me, Stacy's husband, Janice, and our cousin Craig, and we all got to the airport. I'm like, do y'all think we're gonna make it? The pilot's like,
there were no delays though.
We'll see. It was only a 30-minute delay.
It was
he's like,
I don't know. I never thought the weather was that bad. Y'all were feeling like it. I was like, I think we'll be fine.
No, because it was about a 30-minute delay, and the pilot's like, okay, I'm just gonna look at the pilot came to the thing, went on the plane. He's just like, yeah, I'll need 30 minutes, and he's like, I'll just fly around the storm. Is what he did. Now, let's be honest. He took off and was gunning it to make up for that 30 minutes, and he did. He made up for it.
Was it scary?
There's a couple times where we did have really bad turbulence.
No,
Janice, you don't remember. We had really bad turbulence where he was like, okay, everyone needs to keep their seatbelt on, and even the flight attendants were not walking around. And actually, Stacy's husband got sick.
Oh, wow.
I was just like, oh, Stacy.
I wasn't scared, though.
I wasn't. No, it
wasn't like the oxygen mask came down or anything.
No. So we're seasoned travelers as far as flying by plane. So being in the air, nothing really a couple times we were just shaking.
I was like, oh, shoot.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool, fun ride. Okay. But it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It was nothing like that. I knew because of the weather, it would be a rocky
bumpy ride.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, when he took off, he just gunned it and just took off. So it was a not the best takeoff and landing, but
he got us there in one piece.
Exactly. That's the important part.
Matters.
He got us there in one piece. So that's all that matters. But yeah, it was a great time. Like I said, it was just really fun seeing him with his military friends. They took us on a tour of the base and everything. It was just really good. The nicest people you would ever meet. So
yeah,
it was,
it was a good time. So yeah, either way, that was my last trip. And well, yeah. And so I'm excited to be on vacation, be on a beach.
It's time.
Get drunk.
You've earned it.
Yeah.
Drink for 5 days. Have nice dinners at night.
Yeah.
Breakfast. I plan to do lots of relaxing as well.
Good.
So, I'm going to bring
some reading.
Yeah, I'm going to get a good book. I have not Walking Disaster. It's I don't remember, but it's the last book for the Beautiful series. So I'm going to read that. And
okay.
So that's going to be my book I'm going to go ahead and finish while I'm on vacation.
Well, let me know if it's good because I'll definitely read that because I'm right now.
You should finish it. I mean, it's a series.
I'm on my reading kick right now. So I finished. We talked about this last week. So I finished. What was the name of the book? A Touch of Darkness. I finished that, and then I started and finished Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, which, if you want to, is Gillian Flynn is the same writer of Gone Girl. Amen. I loved it.
Sharp Objects. That's the one that's going to be a show, right?
It's already a show.
Yeah.
Where is it at? Where is it?
It's
streaming?
On Max.
Oh.
Max? Have you watched it, Michael?
No, but I know what it is. Amy Adams is in it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on Max. It was originally an HBO. Now it's Max. But I've already seen the TV series. I actually saw the TV series first. And I'm like, okay, let me reread the book because that show, the twist ending at the end, had me floored.
You were gooped.
Very much so. I thought, oh, okay. Okay, show over. Cool. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
The ending, I did not. I'd be like, I did not see this coming. So it was like to read it again in the book. And I'm just like, she's a good actor.
There was a book called.
She's a really good writer.
Yeah. There was a book called Behind Her Eyes that ended up being a Netflix show, but I read the book. The book was so good.
Okay, good.
The book was so good.
It's gonna go on my to be read.
Behind Her Eyes. List. Oh my! And that shit is a twist. You're like, what?
Okay, good. Love it. I'm taking it for suggestions because right now.
Because the show was like shocking, and the book is even so much more detailed. So it's just so much.
Yes, I would say the books are always better, but. Because I'm on my reading kick. My goal this year was to read at least one book a month. I've already been through 3 this month. So I'm already off to a good start. So if y'all have any suggestions, let me know. I will put it in my to be read list
column. Okay.
Yes. So I'm excited about that.
Anything else going on in your week?
No, that's it.
Pretty much reading.
Yeah,
on your reading kick, Michael.
Getting mom ready to bye. So
that sounds like you're ready for her.
Yeah, I'm ready to have my apartment back to myself.
Yeah, well, the house is gonna be built soon, so I'm sure we'll be there more often than she should. But
she's hoping to have it done by this summer.
Oh wow!
So, Michael, how was your week?
It was a little stressful. I found myself a little, not bitter, but like a little testy with people that were trying to push my buttons all week. I'm talking about specifically work.
Okay.
And there was just an energy in the air. The person that was supposed to do, she has a huge responsibility. She was gone on a cruise all week. I had to do all of her work on top of mine. So I got all these phone calls about, I have got a wedding coming up, and I don't do weddings.
Oh.
But I had to do the phone calls. And
you're like,
I'm like,
cool.
I don't do weddings. Of course, I didn't say that to them, but I was like,
you wanted
the person, that you would be dealing with is actually, on vacation, but I'm happy to help you. The phone would not stop ringing every day of the week. I'm talking nonstop. And so every time I would open up a document, I would open up Excel or something, and I would press 5, and then be like, phone ring, and then I'd answer it and say, thank you for calling Sheraton McKinney. How can I help you? And this is a sales team. How can I help you? And they're like, yeah, I got a wedding in 2029, and it's like, I'm like,
you can wait a
girl,
week.
Why are you telling today?
I'm telling you though, those brides they be serious about their weddings. They be like, I need to know everything right now.
Yeah,
everything has to be perfect. I'm like,
Janice, it's true. I talked to several women, in fact, a couple men too, the grooms, excuse me, that were saying, okay, I get their information, and they say, okay, so when can I find out the quote? Like, what's the price? And it's like, well, sir, there's a process. I have to go through my director of sales. I punch the numbers in. It's contingent on the day, availability, how busy we are, all that stuff. So I can't just give you a number over the phone. And he's like, well, I'd really appreciate it if I can get it in the next hour. And I'm like, sir,
what I just say? What I just say?
When is your wedding and why are you in a rush?
What did I just say?
Well, it's so comical because they think
unfortunately I can't promise that.
You're the only person. You think you're the only person that's getting married, and it's like, sir, you're one you're one of like 30 people that I talk to a day saying, I've got a wedding coming up, and I do that thing where it's like, oh, congratulations, it's really exciting, and I do it so many times a day. I think it's starting to wear off on me where I'm like,
you're like, I don't give a shit.
That's really exciting, awesome.
That's how it is. People feel working in customer service. After a while, people are like, you don't care. I'm like, ma'am, do you understand how many people have problems and they come to me every single day? At this point, I am numb. I really don't care.
Right.
Unless it was my house or my car getting repoed.
Or your family.
I don't care.
Right.
Damn customer service.
Yeah. Customer service sometimes does suck the soul from you.
Yeah.
Where is the empathy,
not saying,
Jillian?
and I think it really comes down to the energy of the person you're talking to. Now, there are some people who I really do feel sorry
constantly
for,
have to grade customer
and
service calls.
they kind of like, oh my gosh, and I think it's how people approach it, because unfortunately there's a lot of people who, they get in a situation and it's almost like it's my fault. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
I think it's
I didn't do this to you. I understand that you're frustrated and you want help, but the blame game and making it seem like it's my fault, that's where I kind of like, okay,
Jillian's You're a little hard as stone.
I am a little harder because I'm
like, damn, Jillian, these people's life are being they're in shambles. Like, let's have a little empathy for them.
But
damn.
Most of the time, it is not.
She's like, it's their fault. I'm like, I know, but damn.
But I think at the end of the day, it's how you approach the situation. So I always tell people, I said, really honestly, when you come on the phone, hey, here's my problem. I'm a problem solver. I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
So for me, I've discussed this with my colleagues. My number one thing is like my pet peeve is unnecessary information.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me about your auntie's niece's dog that passed away, what that got to do with this?
Yeah.
I need pertinent information that help me do my job and help you.
Yeah.
I feel like because I'm in management I have been in management over a customer service department. I'm like, yeah, well, no, you still have to let them talk.
Listen, but
I
do
also feel like even like my bosses, when they would come and like critique one of my calls, and I'd be like, girl, I'll be on these calls all day, so you cannot come and judge me for you never take them, so you don't have as much like, can I move on?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. No,
but I do think
that
when you're scoring them, you have to. It's like, yes, you have to let them talk about the unnecessary information.
Exactly.
No, they're allowed to.
You have to.
But please understand. I mean, I allow them to do that, whatever they want to do. But it's just, it hinders me because I'm just like, I need you to get to the problem so I can get to the solution so I can get you off the phone.
Yes.
You just have to find a way to transition the conversation into that.
Like, and that's what I end up doing.
So going on the account.
And that's what I have to do.
You just have to redirect
them.
But
it is my...
Because some people will tell you their whole life story.
Exactly. Oh. And I'm the queen of redirection. I'd be like, okay, that's nice. Anyways,
I still act like I give a shit about what they just said.
But yeah, so that
it
does because I'll be putting them on mute and be like, if you don't leave me.
And then I'll be trying to tell people, just because you mute the phone, I can still hear you on the call recording. So no, you can't talk crap about them.
My calls aren't recorded. And the recorded calls, no, they can't hear what it's only.
No. Any system I've ever been on, people, and I've had to reiterate, when you mute your phone, whatever call recording there is, it's still being recorded. So you go in there and talk crap about this person or that person, it's still recorded.
Oh my God.
It's not. No, if they're
and they've been busted.
Oh my God.
So my calls aren't recorded, but
interesting.
No, customer service department there is, but in collections now our calls aren't recorded.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Even more interesting.
Yeah. So we're just not a part of that system.
I would definitely want to hear how the collector's talking to people.
I mean, we don't talk to people crazy because it's not like we get commission on.
Maybe not.
I don't. I don't. No, I don't. I don't talk to people crazy. Like I said,
I'm on a bad day.
Yeah, you may catch me on a bad day, but I'll meet you and be like, you don't get off this phone. But I don't. People say you're the sweetest, you're the meanest sweet person we've ever met. So on the phone, I'll be sweet as sugar, but in my mind, I'll be like, if this dumbass don't get off my phone, I'm gonna snap.
Yeah. That's why I tell people you gotta be nice to customer service
you'll never get that energy from me. In my mind, I'll be thinking and saying one thing, but when I'm talking to you, I'm very professional, very to the point, and I'll bring it back to center.
For me, it's I'm always gonna be professional.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna match your energy. So if you coming at me aggressive, I'm gonna be factual on you. I'm gonna be like, well, this is what's going on. This is what's going on here, and there's no room for fluff because you don't want no fluff. I ain't giving you no fluff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. I definitely match energy.
But I tell people all the time, like that's why I tell people, even in my training, I'm like, be nice to your customer service representatives no matter where it is.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot more power than you think.
Yeah.
And even if they said they can't, they probably could if you were nice.
Yeah, because a lot of
times probably would just to get you off their phone if you were nice.
This is anyone in the service industry, but I definitely do match energy, and I'm the kind of person that if you're being rude, I'm definitely like, when I tell people, hey, this is what's going to happen, X, Y, and Z, are you threatening me? No, that's not a threat. That's what's going to happen. I'm obligated to tell you that so there's not a surprise. But it's not a threat. The bank
That's the
is
professional
serious.
way, not the. It's a promise.
It's not a threat.
It's a promise, girl.
This isn't a threat. This is what will happen. The bank has procedures. These are the procedures. So you can't tell me X amount of time from now. Well, she never told me.
People be trying to get.
That's like if a cop is trying to arrest someone and the person getting arrested is like, "Is this a threat?" It's like, you knew it was going to happen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Like, what do you think?
It's not really a threat. It's a procedure of what's going to take place
Yeah.
if you continue in this manner.
I don't appreciate that threat. I'm like, well, that's not a threat. I think you need to go relook that up.
That's not a threat.
Get your life together.
That's not a threat. I mean, that's not a threat. But
I'll show you a threat.
Yeah. No, I won't. I
Catch
will
me outside, and I'll throw you a threat.
How about that? But I mean, yeah. Whenever I'm on the phone, I'm very professional. But I want to, like I said, we've all worked in the service industry.
Yes.
I always tell people you want to be nice to your service providers, whether you're on the phone. Which I think when you're on the phone, they tend to be more froggy and feel like more bold, because I've worked frontline in person and I've worked, of course, customer service over the phone, and I feel like I've never been called the B word more times over the phone than
wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been called the B word.
And the thing is that they're not even brave enough to stay on the phone. Once they do call me a B, they hang up. Oh, okay, so you're not even brave enough to stay on the phone once you do call me that word.
I haven't even called me a B.
I know that language too. I mean, if that's what we were gonna do, we can definitely use that language.
I've had people use derogatory terms for people towards me. I'm like, oh, I'm black. If you didn't know, just so you know.
They use derogatory words?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Like what? Like how you stupid?
The N-word. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I've never been called the N-word over the phone, but I've had colleagues being called the N-word.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I or they'll talk about people of color and call them N-words.
Oh my
and I'll be
God.
like, I don't think you realize I am a person.
Yeah. I had
black.
I
am one of those N-words.
Yeah, this one time, this one older gentleman was complaining about immigrants, and in my mind, I'm just like,
I'm an immigrant,
you asshole.
Yeah. I've definitely had that, especially.
And I was just like, they're taking our jobs. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've had.
If they can come here without papers and get 2 jobs, you can't get 1?
Yeah.
I've had people talk about Biden, Trump, like their views. We need to get these people out of here, and like I'm like. Okay, so what I'm going to do with your account is... Okay. But yeah, so I think we're going to take a quick break and come back. We're going to come back with a chokehold. Well, I have a chokehold. I don't know if these guys do.
I did too.
Okay, cool. So we have some chokeholds, and then I think we might just jump into our main topic after that. So we'll be back. And we're back, and so I think instead of doing chokeholds, what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna do our famous grab bag. So I feel all of us have like a little something we want to talk about, and I think all of them are going to be warranted a good amount of feedback from each of us, just because they're all kind of like, girl. So I'll start first. So my grab bag was Chrisean Rock, which I don't think Michael knows a lot about Chrisean Rock and Blueface, but it's still ridiculous. And we talked about Chrisean Rock on here before. She is a rapper who started off in reality TV in a dating show for Blueface. Either way, their relationship has been nothing but toxic, just abusive, beating each other up, like cussing each other out, throwing each other on the bus on like social media. It's just a toxic relationship. And now they have a baby together. Poor baby. Sorry to say. Hopefully things get better. But for right now, I feel bad for that son. But so now they have broken up. He did not claim her baby at first. Now they're back together. Apparently, supposedly, allegedly, because he's now in jail. He done went to jail.
Oh, no.
Great.
He done went to jail, and I guess since he's been in jail, he's been reaching out to her and like, oh, baby this and baby that, I miss you, because your other baby mama done left you high and dry because she was like, oh, you went to jail, I'm done with you. So now he's like, let me go back to this other one. That's what he did.
So he doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah, probably not. He wants a woman that's obsessed with him, like, and
she is.
You know, and she is. So my whole grab bag is the fact that this woman, first of all, she had his face tattooed on her neck before. Ugh. When they broke up, she got it covered up with a rose. Now this woman went and tattooed this man's face again on her face, this time on the side of her cheek. Ugh. Ridiculous. She looks ridiculous. It's like, how do you get that obsessed with the man to where you tattoo their face on your face?
There's something wrong with her.
Like, that's sad.
Yeah. So my rule when it comes to tattoos is I will never get anyone's name.
Yeah, and she has Jonathan right above her eyebrow, too, which is his first name.
Yeah. No one's name, no one's face. No.
No, it's like first of all, it's a kiss of death.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, what happens when you're no longer with them?
It's just imagine.
I mean, like,
you get a new man and your ex is...
It says Todd on your boob.
Yeah, like right above your stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, because everybody goes into a relationship with the idea that it's going to last forever. I get that. But haven't we all been there to where it did not?
Yeah.
So why risk this permanent thing on your body for something that you don't know if it's going to last forever? Maybe you think it's going to last forever, then he completely changes, or you completely change. People change.
Yeah.
I'm just like, but his face?
That's the part
on your face?
Was it even a good tattoo? Like, did it look authentic?
Yeah, it looked like his face.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm just like, now you have this huge ink. It's like it's on her whole cheek.
Her whole cheek.
It ruins your face.
It's like her face is no longer her face. Like, he owns you in every way.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, technically she could cover it up with makeup. So anyone who has face tattoos, I mean, do you, boo? But my thing is not the location. It's what was put on. Yeah. I always tell people when you're putting, especially a romantic partner, names and faces, don't do it.
I feel like for me, it's where it's at.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you have somebody's face somewhere, like, you can cover that up. But it's like on your face. Now your face, what people perceive as you, has this other person on it.
Yeah. I mean, I think because
that's a trauma bomb for real, honey.
Because we know, doesn't Jay-Z and Beyonce, they have the number 4 on their wedding finger?
Oh, they do?
They do.
That's easily
taken off,
removed, taken off, covered, explained differently.
Do you think she was thinking? Do you think she was thinking about that? Be like, I permanently tattooed this matching tattoo. First of all, Lemonade is like an actual iconic album. It was just Chef's Kiss, that album front to back. No skips on that album. So she did get at least something good out of it. But
him cheating.
I was just like, Jay-Z, you ugly. You know you ugly as hell.
I have a question on that. Okay, so why
would you cheat on Beyonce?
Who cheats on Beyonce? Same
like
person
you
who cheats on Halle Berry.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Way above. Because way above your head.
Because let's be real, and you said it before, cheating's not about looks. It's people
not.
Rarely cheat up, they cheat down.
Yeah, they do.
That's actually a really good point.
It's not it's nothing to do with it. Who Beyonce is, who the woman is that they're cheating on or man has nothing to do with the act of cheating.
Oh, that's true.
You're right. You're right, Denise.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Like, so that's why I'm like, if you get cheated on, never put it on you. What did I do? What did I?
Right.
It's nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with that person cheating.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Even if there's a problem in a relationship.
Sometimes people and I legitimately have met people, men. I'm like, you cannot help yourself. Like, it doesn't matter who he's with. He can't help it. He's going to cheat. He's a cheater. He's just, and I'm like, I don't think that will change. Like, maybe you think it will, but I personally am like, but I also have always said, I feel like once a cheater, always a cheater, just a matter of one again.
Yeah.
There are people that use it as an excuse and say, well, I have an addiction. I'm a sex addict. And it's like, okay, and that's probably valid, but
I believe them.
At the same time, it doesn't excuse you cheating that many times.
It's just but I want to know because I don't want to be with you.
Right. if you're an addict, then I need to know that so that,
Yeah, that's...
So I couldn't be with someone who was... let me take that back. I couldn't be with someone who consistently cheated. That's...
If you've cheated in your past, that's different than you've cheated on every single girlfriend you've had.
Right.
That's two different things.
Yeah.
To me, at this point, if you cheat on every girlfriend you've had, you can't help yourself or you don't want to help yourself. And at some point, even if you can help yourself and that you decide not to, you're going to decide it again.
Yeah.
It's just the moment that you're not happy enough.
Yeah. I think some people, there's something else going on internally that they need to address before they can be in a committed monogamous relationship. Now, there are some people that feel like monogamy is not for them. And I've always said if you want to be in a open relationship, a polyamorous relationship, I have no problem with that. Yeah. As long as you're upfront and everyone is on the same page. Yeah, but if a poly relationship is
a poly relationship, if that's the relationship y'all have,
right. I think some people just need to be upfront about why they're doing what they're doing, and I don't. When it comes to Chrisean and Blueface, there has to be some kind of trauma bonding between them.
That's what I'm saying. That's the ultimate trauma bond to me between Chrisean Rock and Blueface, because even with his baby mamas, it's not the same extreme. And she wasn't like this until she met him. And then I don't know how he was before. I just know the things I've read about her in the past, it didn't seem like she had this issue. She's clearly an alcoholic. Don't get me wrong. She is an alcoholic. She's clearly medicating. She's self-medicating to run away from something.
Right.
Because she's so belligerent when she gets drunk. It's
and do you
crazy.
think some of the extreme behavior is due to needing attention for fame? You think maybe that could be a culprit?
It could be because I know she did get a lot of media and attention from her, the way she was acting on that Blueface Baddies thing or whatever it was called. So it could be something where now it's more strategic than anything. Like, I'm going to go ahead and get shit-faced because I know it's going to make me do something crazy and I know I'm going to get publicity off of it. It could be. It could be. It could be.
And I think maybe that's a part of the reason why she got the tattoo, even though she's gotten one, covered it up, and now has gotten another one again, even more prominent place. I think, honestly, sometimes I really do think it's for this branding that she's created.
So the brand you want to create is that you're a slave to Blueface.
I mean, I think the extreme behavior is part of her brand.
Yeah.
So I think doing these extreme things is on brand for her as
irrational.
Far as
it's very irrational.
And I think she's doing. She feels like this is what has made me famous. This is what's gotten me paid. So I need to continue along that lane.
I can almost respect that more.
Yeah. I mean,
It's on
you
purpose,
know what? At the end of the day, it's extreme, but when it comes to doing extreme things, lots of celebrities do extreme things. You may not, this is getting a tattoo in the face, but what's the difference between getting the outrageous BBLs and butt injections and other modifications people do to be able to make it in Hollywood?
Lady Gaga's meat dress.
Well, I wouldn't say make it in Hollywood because people do that.
You've done extreme things. Like, you've seen the extreme things of Madonna or Little Kim or Lady Gaga.
I guess because those extreme things have a very negative impact on her life, and they will probably affect her way later
following her life
than just wearing a meat dress.
Right.
Yeah, there's a big difference. So I know Cardi B was talking about she got back alley butt injections. That's going to affect her. But she felt like that was what she needed.
But I don't feel like that's a celebrity thing. That's a people thing at this point.
Yeah, and it means to get attention, whether that's attention from Hollywood or getting fame from the world. Or if
they just want a big ass.
You just want a big ass.
Or they want a big ass.
For what reason, though?
Because they want to look in the mirror and see your big ass.
Or they're trying to do it for attention. And they feel like
some people I feel like do it for attention.
This is a new beauty standard.
I feel like any extreme changes to your body then could be equated to that.
Yeah. So, and it's not like she was going, because at the time she couldn't afford it. I'm like, you're literally putting your life on the line doing these back alley procedures. So I feel like there has to be you have to draw a line in the sand where it's just like, okay, is it really worth it? And I think for Chrisean, like I said, we've discussed Chrisean on this podcast several times and Blueface and their relationship, and we talked about how it's a physically abusive, emotionally, verbally abusive relationship. At the end of the day, I think for her, I'm hoping that with him being in jail, maybe a little bit more distance.
Oh no, she moved into his house.
Oh. So
she had a post and she was like, moving back in with daddy.
Oh. I mean,
while he's still in jail.
Oh my
I
God.
think at the end of the day, I think for her, like I said, both for him and for her, this is something deeper that we're not seeing, and I really do feel like they're trauma bonding with each other, and they feed off each other.
Trauma bonded.
Yeah, I think they feed off each other. Like, each reaction gets more and more extreme, trying to react to the other person. They're just not a good couple. They're just not. They shouldn't be together. Period. So for her to get that tattoo, honestly, am I shocked? No.
And the sad part is I feel like in the beginning I almost thought they were cute. That's sad.
I never thought they were cute together.
But I've probably go for toxic men too. So yeah, that's probably part of it. Yeah. I'm like, oh, look at this girl get her toxic man and get it together.
Yeah. But y'all know Michael doesn't watch a lot of reality TV show, or if any. I don't really. That's not really. My
never
bag.
watched her show. I just.
Yeah. And so, but I know
kept showing up on my feed and started looking. And I'm like,
I think that's how we all, most people learn about them is throwing up the feed. But I think most reality TV shows, whether it's Real Housewives of Enter Whatever City or The Kardashians or Survivor, Bachelor, I just feel like every time the show's like The Golden Bachelor, turns out his whole entire profile was a lie. And I was just like,
what are you trying to say? Reality TV's fake? I disagree.
It is. It's very fake.
Not all.
Which ones do you consider real?
Vanderpump Rules is real.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe
in your dreams. Okay. Yeah, they do that. Like, even
it's my opinion.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. When they're on, like, even with the Kardashians, when they're on television, you're telling me every single day of your life you have a full glam team. Do your makeup, your hair.
You don't think that Kardashians do?
Every day?
Yes.
Do you not have a break?
Yes, I do.
Like,
yes, I do.
And I just don't think if the cameras were there, would you still be doing all that stuff?
Yes, I think so.
If you
celebrities,
if no one knew who you were, if she was still Paris Hilton's
there would be no reason for her to have to do that
instead of her thing. I'm just like,
what would be the reason for her doing it if she had no type of celebrity? Because she's a celebrity and people are constantly looking at you. Walks at her door and people are taking pictures of her.
Oh, Janice.
But the full glam, I mean, I understand. I understand.
I like reality TV. Don't come for reality TV.
Yeah, I understand being put together, but full glam, like you're going on a red carpet somewhere, a movie premiere somewhere
on a Monday.
That on a Monday
they don't always
going
have full glam.
To Starbucks.
Well, they don't always have full glam. Like
Janice.
They're going to. No, they don't.
Janice.
Do you watch it?
Janice.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, every picture.
You don't watch it.
And,
so how would you know?
Let's be honest.
That's the thing. You always give a strong opinion about Kardashians when you don't watch it or entertain any of the posts or anything. I do. And I have people that do.
Like I said,
and you make a very strong opinion that you don't have all the facts about.
Okay,
you make a very judgmental.
What I'm trying to say,
judgment.
You act like I've never watched the Kardashians. I have watched
in like
them
a decade.
And just because I don't watch it on a regular basis does not mean I don't know some of the stuff that goes on or see clips or anything like that. I just feel like they're very fake. This is fake. You're doing it for television. You're doing it for views. And honestly, right now, I feel like they're recycling the same storylines. And I feel like...
So in Hollywood... do you think that everybody's super honest? But Jada's super honest to you.
So somebody got in another fight with Kim? Surprise, surprise.
Jada tells the truth all the time.
What? Courtney and Kim got in a fist fight again? Surprise, surprise. There's nothing
again, they've been in a fist fight once.
Okay.
What do you mean again?
Okay.
I'm just saying, you don't watch it. Okay. You don't even attempt to...
It's the same thing over and over again. It's tiring. Khloe got cheated on.
Is it just the Kardashians, or is this how you feel about celebrities?
Again? Surprise, surprise.
Is this just the Kardashians, or just how you feel about celebrities?
Just reality in general. Reality TV in general. Just in general.
I mean, I definitely think it's some of it's fabricated for sure. But that's the whole point. That's why it's an entertainment show. Isn't that the point?
But I wouldn't call it reality TV.
What is
it? It's just a show.
It's scripted?
I know that I know for sure that I can't speak to the Kardashians, but with Real Housewives of whatever city, those fights, some of them are real, but a lot of them are embellished.
And scripted.
It's scripted.
Well, what'll happen is they'll make them, so if they have like an argument off camera, they'll have them reenact it.
Right.
That's what they'll do.
That's exactly
for sure.
Right. Yeah. And then they'll tell them, like, really go for it. Like,
right. But to me, it's like you're saying that, like, every single person in Hollywood doesn't fabricate themselves in some way or form. Every single person does.
When it comes to Hollywood in general, sometimes I do wish we went back to a time where you were just focused on the art instead of...
How many followers you have?
Not even followers, but I'm just like, do I really need to know who you're dating?
When was this time?
Need to know...
When was this time?
In the 50s, for sure.
It was
even like Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe. Like it was still the same thing.
I think
who are they dating? Who are you cheating on them with?
That shift happened with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton.
That was
where everything like
40s,
was
50s.
No, that was 60s.
Yeah, 50s? So. 50s or 60s, I can't remember. But they're saying that everything prior to then was very well curated by the studios.
Studios owned the
and so, like, any picture that's released,
so which means they had to
they
do
were
what
under
they said,
contract.
Which would mean that's still not authentic.
It's not authentic, but I feel like it was very curated. But I also think that you went to see the new Elizabeth Taylor movie not because of who she was married to, but because you thought she was a really good actress.
Yeah.
And I think right now, I feel like a lot of celebrities feel like the only way to get attention is not necessarily through their art, it's through whatever craziness is going on in their personal lives. And I that's where I think there's a disconnect.
That's because of people's gross, like, not gross, but like their need to know what's going on with them on a personal level too.
Yeah.
You couldn't have that without people with their morbid curiosity either.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, honestly, we need to get away from that.
What about that show Jackass? Those people did those stuff for a reason.
That was
for attention.
That was definitely attention, but that was reality.
It was definitely attention. And
that was real.
Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of Jackass. It was funny at times, but other times I'm just like, yeah, no, this isn't real. Like,
I feel like you should just take... I feel like you should take reality TV and all of it for what it is. Mm-hmm. Entertainment.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
And
that's for me, as my ex used to call it was mindless TV. Yeah. Or garbage TV. And I sure would be like, sure is.
Yeah.
And I would enjoy it.
Anderson Cooper watches Real Housewives because...
It's enjoyable.
I'm not saying
you don't have to think.
I'm not... Yeah.
So much things to think about in life. But I feel like that's the one time I can be like, cool.
And I think my disconnect happened, like we've discussed this when Stacey was here. I think in our first season we talked about reality
Stacey
TV.
Was here. She'd have my back.
Yeah, we had a reality TV show, and I think where I eventually had a complete disconnect is rewatching Jersey Shore.
Oh, okay.
And I realized the things I found entertaining and funny was Sam and Ron, and now that I'm older, now I'm just like... I'm literally looking at domestic violence and cheering this show and think it's funny and entertaining. And now I look back.
Did you cheer it on then?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was.
You thought it was funny when he was breaking her stuff?
I thought it was entertaining.
You thought it was, oh no, I thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
And she needed to get out.
Yeah.
You broke my shit.
But it was still, for me, there was a disconnect. I thought
he was crazy.
Entertainment. But then now I look back, I'm like, no, honestly, I think the producers were very negligent. They should definitely have stepped in and protected her, for sure. Because I'm just like, the violence, I didn't fully comprehend it.
To me, and we're going way over on this silly topic, but for me, with Ronnie and Sam, to me, it never got to a point where he was physical with her. She got physical with him.
Yeah.
But as far as because to me, it was the breaking of the stuff, which to me crossed the line because when you broke all her stuff, that was the moment I was like, Ronnie needs help.
Yeah.
I said it then, and I said it, and I say it, and even when that stuff was happening, I was like, who was he before? What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't see that?
Yeah.
You broke all of her stuff because you were mad that she danced with a guy.
Yeah.
You broke all of her things.
Yeah.
Her flat iron, her glasses, everything.
Threw it out the window.
Threw it out the balcony. Like, that's extreme. Like, you're so angry.
Yeah.
So,
that whole
to me,
season,
like, I know you said when I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, he's crazy. Yeah. He needs help.
And I think that was their most popular season too. So I guess I'm trying to step back and re-examine and be more conscious of what I consume, because I feel like what is being put out is doing more harm than good. I guess I'm trying to consume less, and because I don't want that in the ether. I guess I want to say.
I totally get
and
it.
I think once we stop viewing it as entertainment and call it out for what it is, and stop watching and putting money in the pockets of these producers and these companies, they'll stop putting it on television. So
I think that's a tall order.
And I think,
and I don't know if that's
I think it is. Girl, I think it's a tall order.
I get it.
And I think in the end, there's going to be a time where something bad is going to happen, and it's going to cost.
It already has.
I think,
and cost people their lives.
Yeah.
It already has. Yeah. Except this is what we go through in life too.
Yeah.
Not just on reality TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel sorry for her, but hopefully
she's in a happy place. She's fine.
She'll get in a better place.
She is in a better place. She's with a new man. He love him. She good.
No, not Sammy. I'm talking about Chrisean and Blueface.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know with her.
I have hope for her, so hopefully she'll get her stuff together. Okay. All right. We'll just jump into our next subject then.
So one of the things I wanted to discuss is the Oscars. So everyone that knows me well knows that I am a huge movie buff. I see movies all the time. I've always been this way ever since I was a kid. And I happened to see a lot of the movies that I thought were going to get nominated for Oscars this year. Some of them did, some of them did not. And the ones that really stood out to me that were big surprises, I think a lot of people are talking about Barbie. Ryan Gosling getting Best Supporting Actor, which I'm not opposed to. That's fine. Like, he was funny. He was good. I thought he did a good job. But the irony is that the film is about the fact it's about the patriarchy, and Barbie didn't get a nomination. Margot Robbie didn't get the nomination, which, okay, that's fine. But what's not fine to me is Greta Gerwig, because she co-wrote and directed this film. She deserves all the credit. The film wouldn't be the film. There'd be no Ryan Gosling. There'd be no America Ferrera. There'd be no Margot Robbie without Greta Gerwig. I'm a huge Greta Gerwig fan. I think she's amazing.
There'd be no Barbie movie.
She's actually our age, and she's
really?
Her mind is so multifaceted and complex, and I've seen all of her movies. I love her work, and so her not getting a nomination, but the movie getting nominated, to me felt like a slap in the face. Yeah. And we were talking
some of her actors getting
right. Like, I mean, I like Ryan Gosling, good for him. I like America Ferrera, but I honestly think that Margot Robbie deserved a nomination, because I don't think it was like an incredible performance by any means, but I think there was a lot of depth to the role that she brought, unexpected depth, and I thought there were layers to her performance. She wasn't just Barbie. She was, I mean, the scenes when she was crying and stuff, she like really brought a lot of emotion. And so I actually thought she was going to get a nomination, and then I was scrolling down and I saw no Margot Robbie, And then I scrolled down to director, and I saw no Greta Gerwig. And then, of course, I saw America Ferrera and Ryan Gosling listed, and I was like, hold up. The Academy has been known to get things wrong before, and at the end of the day, it's just people's opinions.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just a board of people.
It's exactly like the Academy has every right to choose whatever they want to choose. That's their preference. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean, I mean, who am I? Just because I don't agree with it. But I was disappointed.
I mean, for me, I think you made a really good point saying the whole point of the premise of the movie is the whole patriarchy and their stance above the matriarchy. Yeah. Right? And to me, it happened again.
Right. It's so ironic.
Because I mean, he got the supporting actor role. Apparently he was funny.
He was, yeah.
Got that. But I also heard amazing things about how it was directed, how it was portrayed, and Barbie's performance. I heard more about those three.
Yes.
So and then the three things I heard most about, Ryan Gosling was funny, America's speech was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
The whole entire concept of the movie and everything was like a whole nother level than anybody thought it was going to be. And Margot Robbie really embodied the character.
Totally.
So to me, all of them should have been recognized.
Especially with the new landscape when it comes to movie going. Not a lot of people are going to movie theaters as they used to because of COVID. They haven't fully recovered. So for that to be $1 billion movie
by a woman.
I'm not even gonna say that.
Really
it was one of the rare times that a movie has crossed the $1 billion threshold
since COVID.
In theaters. So I think that we need to praise them for that because that's not easy. That's a testament of, I think, a lot of people, a lot of the reasons why it was able to cross that threshold is because of word of mouth, because people watched it, be like, you got to go see it, yada, yada, yada. Because honestly, when they said they were doing a Barbie movie, I thought, what the hell? What can you possibly do to make this a worthwhile movie? Right. And I didn't see it opening weekend. I went with two friends, and we ended up going and seeing it. And I was just like, because I would be, I was like, girls, let's go see it. Because in our workout class, one of the girls in there said saw it opening weekend. She goes, y'all have got to go see this. She was very adamant. So we're just like, okay, well, she said that we have to go see it. I guess we should just make it a girls' night. So we did, and we went in. Every time someone talk about Barbie, you got to go see it. Have you seen it? Go see it. Yeah. It's one of those things where it kind of went along because of word of mouth. Right. And it's one of those things where I was thinking one thing. I thought it was going to be funny, silly, not on the level with like G.I. Joe and other like battleships and whatever toy movie they have. I thought it was going to go along those lines, and it didn't. It really did we were discussing this. I'm like, they took the Barbie and the cultural significance of the doll and explained it in the movie, and just like the relationship that little girls have with these dolls, and really put it into perspective. Yeah. And the impact that Barbie has, because little girls, when they play with them, it helps them imagine their lives as grown-ups. Yeah. And, in the beginning of the movie, and you want to see the movie that you talked about before Barbie, really the only dolls that girls played with was baby dolls. Yeah, yeah. And so, and I think that just caters for little girls really only fulfilling one role, and that's motherhood. Yes. Where Barbie had her in space, being president, being a nurse, a doctor. There's so many different roles that Barbie has allowed little girls to kind of imagine themselves. That's true. And I think they took that concept and really ran with it. And if that was Greta's vision, and for her to be a co-writer and a director, she took such a simple concept and just completely fleshed it out. Brilliantly. Mm-hmm. Very well. Because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting a lot, and she blew my mind. Yeah. So
I thought about it for weeks.
So you said something that made me go, is that why? Because, like Barbie, when it came out, it's like, what you just said, like it gives little girls this idea, like, I can be this, I can be that, But it was like almost the makers of Barbie like wanted that out there, but they were like, well, let's just hide it. The patriarchy behind some big boobs and blonde hair. They won't notice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's the point.
They won't notice, and they're like, they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when it comes to that movie,
who makes Barbie? Who made Barbie?
Mattel.
Who's Mattel owned by?
I don't know.
Mattel is their own. You're talking about the studio that brought Barbie?
Yeah, like the concept
Warner
of Barbie.
And the
concept of Barbie, like
the idea.
Yeah.
Not the original creator. I don't know. Was a woman.
It was a woman,
and her daughter. And her daughter's name was Barbie.
Yeah.
But she worked for Mattel.
See, that was my idea. I was like, I wonder if it was a man or a woman, because the concept was probably completely like, huh? What you mean?
Right. You want me to what?
You want her to be a nurse? Oh,
a witch?
Yeah. So no, it was the original creator. The original concept did come from a woman. So
okay.
So I just thought, like I said, Margot Robbie, she was 50-50 for me as far as getting a Best Actor, because I pretty think it's a pretty strong field this year.
Yeah, it is.
So I thought for her it was
a long shot.
It was not a long shot. It was just, if she made it, great. But I don't think she would have been in the running as far as had a great chance of winning anyways, because it's such a loaded category this year. But
it sounds like
Greta is one of those things where I'm like, I feel like,
that was a
I'm
snub.
sorry to say, but I don't think Martin Scorsese should have been in that category.
Yeah.
That should have been her spot.
He's been nominated so many times.
And I think it's come down to
Yes.
name recognition and the fact that he's Martin Scorsese, even though he's only won
once.
For The Departed.
Correct.
I think they're trying to make up for something. Yeah, I think
she
they're
likes
trying
movies almost as much as you.
I do like movies, and so I think almost they do it almost out of reverence than necessarily that. Okay, is this really the best directorial job that was done this year?
I think you're right. Totally.
And I think there's some name recognition that people kind of fall back on.
Yeah, they expect Martin Scorsese to get a nomination. So, like, if he didn't, they'd be like up in arms. Like, oh my God, how did he not get a nomination?
That's what they're going to be up in arms about.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So I thought that was interesting, but yeah, it hurts a little especially for Greta, but it's one of those things where it is what it is. So she's going to continue to make great movies. She can parlay into other great projects. Hopefully they'll give her bigger budgets, have more leeway maybe to segue into some maybe passion projects. I love the way her mind works. So I feel like she should be given that grace.
We're not surprised or shocked.
No.
That
not shocked, but I feel like
given that, even though she probably deserves it.
I hope this gives her the opportunity to have more things come her way and given more opportunities without having to maybe fight as hard, because she can say, hey, look, when given the chance, I can get you $1 billion movie. I can get you a return on your investment, even if you do invest a lot in the movie.
Even there's no Oscar nomination, she'll still get the recognition. Hopefully she does.
Yeah, because I feel like that will be hopefully something she can lean back on in the future.
There were a couple other nominations, and of course, now that I'm on the topic, I'm drawing a blank. But there were a couple nominations specifically where I was like, why did he get nominated? Or why did she get nominated? I saw that. Why was she nominated? So it just felt kind of like a weak...
Did Iron Claw get nominated?
No, not for anything.
Nothing?
No, not anything.
And people were surprised about that.
Well, there were some people that thought Zac Efron would get a nomination. I love Zac Efron.
Michael was like...
Yeah,
the whole movie.
Yeah, I love Zac Efron, but I
do too.
I think everyone at this table does.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's great, and he's a good actor too. But the movie I gave a C+. It's just it wasn't very to me. It wasn't very good. But anyway, there are other projects that I thought were better. Why can I not think of a single one at the top of my head? I've seen so many movies, and now I'm thinking of one.
Pressure.
Maybe it'll pop in my head at 3 a.m. and then
I'll... Maybe we'll bring it back to the topic, the table next week.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a
rehash.
Yeah. But yeah, with the Oscars coming in, we'll definitely talk about it in a future podcast and see who wins, who doesn't win, which I'm going to try and watch as many of at least the Best Picture movies.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I'll try and watch as
many. Maybe I'll do the same when I take my break from my reality TV.
Yeah, priorities.
There you go. So yeah, I just thought that like I said, for Margot, like I said, I thought it was 50-50. For Greta, I thought she should have definitely been nominated for sure.
I agree.
Agreed. But yeah, I think, and then for our last grab bag is going to be Jillian. I think she had some stuff to say about her favorite topic, Harry and Meghan.
Yes. So, as you all know, Janice and I are both Jamaican, and they were actually in Jamaica for the premiere of Barb Marley's new movie, One Love, which is a movie about his life. And so they went to Jamaica, went to the premiere, and they were photographed with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, which anyone who knows, the previous visit from a royal member of the royal family was William and Kate, where pretty much the Prime Minister said, "Hey, glad you're here," pretty much. But he said that, hey, Jamaica is going to be taking a different direction going forward, and they've actually started a process of Jamaica being removed from the Commonwealth or exiting the Commonwealth.
Wow.
So that would create that Jamaica would become a true republic. So even though we're an independent country, we're still the Queen, or now the King Charles, is considered head of state.
Interesting.
Because we're part of the Commonwealth.
Like abdication. That's what it's called when they remove themselves.
Oh. I couldn't think of
from the Commonwealth. That's what it's called, like when you move yourself from like
abdication.
Abdication.
Okay. All right. So, which Bahamas has already actually did and started that process and has completed that process, I believe. So I believe a couple other countries are also considering it. But as far as popularity and size or the amount of people in the Caribbean, Jamaica is one of the biggest one for us. So for them to lose that is probably a pretty big blow for them. Which the Commonwealth was very important to Queen Elizabeth. And so, of course, with them going to the premiere, of course, the British media cannot stop talking about them, and always in a negative way. They were talking about how dare they go after what they, go and taking a picture with the Prime Minister after what he said to William about being... And pretty much are like, and especially with Charles having surgery and Kate having surgery, why would you go to Jamaica and not come to England? I was just like, the whole time thinking, there has to be a cognizant disconnect for them where they're just hating Meghan and Kate and Harry, simply to hate them, so they would have something to talk about.
Agreed.
And be able to get clickbait, because at this point, I'm just like, you pretty much ran them off.
And now you're like,
and they're living literally across the Atlantic Ocean away from you to get away from the media, and y'all still cannot keep their names out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's true. You're
and
right.
I was just like, what are they supposed to do? Just lock themselves up? And that's the thing is that when they say nothing, they're being rude or ungrateful.
Right.
Where's the da-da-da? Because they were being rude. When they come out and they do anything, they're doing it for attention. If I didn't want, I'm just like, what? They're just living their lives.
If they do,
and then,
absolutely.
a couple weeks before, they were completely tearing apart Lilibet because they were saying that Queen Elizabeth was highly upset that they had used this childhood nickname and named their daughter after them, which Harry said that this has always been the name. If I ever had a daughter, he always wanted his name, his daughter Elizabeth. And mind you, every single grandchild has had Elizabeth as their middle name.
Wow.
Charlotte, that's her middle name. Mm-hmm. I believe Beatrice and Eugenie, that's a part of their middle name. Zara, that's also her middle name is Elizabeth. What's the problem?
A lot of Elizabeths.
A lot. Every last one of the grandkids, and even the great grandkids.
Man, if they have a problem, if she's a
granddaughters,
let the grandma talk about it. Y'all don't need to talk about it. It's not your nickname.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, it makes Elizabeth look bad, because I think even Anne, her middle name is Elizabeth.
Who's Anne?
This Queen Elizabeth, that's Charles's sister.
Oh. Okay.
So I believe she's the oldest.
You think it makes her look bad? Makes Queen Elizabeth look bad?
I think it does. I'm just like, so it makes her look bad, because like, so your daughter, your granddaughters, and your great granddaughters have your name. And
your sister-in-law? Would that be sister-in-law?
You believe that she actually had a problem with it?
No, I don't. I think they made it up.
Right.
In an attempt to make Harry look bad, but I think in the end result is that they made the Queen look bad.
Oh, right. Okay, agreed.
And I think at the end of the day, I was just like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I feel I'm glad that they got away and they're able to not live and breathe in that constant pressure all the time. But even so far away, they are still used
I think at this point, both Harry and Meghan know it's just like that's how they're just living their lives. They don't care anymore because I think at this point they know. Same thing. Damned if they do, damned if they don't. They're gonna have a problem. The British media, which I feel like is who comes after them. I don't think it's their own family coming after them. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't step in and say, "Hey, this is wrong." But I don't think the family has any problem with his kids, his marriage. I think overall it's the British media, which, from my understanding from Diana, it's always them pushing this narrative and these negative things about what this person feels towards this person, and it's never confirmed or corroborated by the royal family. It's just you guys, and they say that basically the media controls all of it. So who knows? So that's what I'm like. I say at the end of the day, I think they're just mostly like, I think the royal family just does not want to lose their spot, and is so scared of that they kind of allow it and just kind of look the other way. And I think when it comes to the British media, they're just toxic and evil. And something's wrong with them. I don't know.
I'm with you.
I think it's clickbait too. I think they just wanted to get clicks because they were trying to create controversy as a means to gin up attention. And I think that I'm like that because really that shows you that shows for me poor journalism.
Because I'm like, if you're talking about the British media, you guys are talking about them being in Jamaica, a country that basically you're saying, well, why are they there? They didn't. They don't want to be a part of Britain or the Commonwealth.
Like we don't have a reason.
But you guys literally said you didn't want them a part of Commonwealth. So why does it matter if they're there? Either way,
it's not even that. No, Jamaica said they didn't want to be a part of the Commonwealth. But I'm just like,
no, I mean as far as Harry and the British media, y'all didn't want them there anyway. So what does it matter?
Yeah, and I think also I find it funny that they're quote unquote taking a jab at the Prime Minister, as if Jamaica hasn't given enough. I'm just like, you have to understand, y'all benefited from chattel slavery. You've stolen resources from Jamaica. My mom was telling us, you have any idea how much land is owned by the crown in Jamaica? And it's just like, how much can we give to you?
Right.
And then we're still seen as ungrateful because I was going through the comments and someone had the nerve to comment, well, all that aid we send you, and luckily somebody did respond, and like, as opposed to the billions and trillions of dollars you've stolen from that land. Yeah. And wealth that has been built through the labor of the people of that land. You can't compare. You have not even begun to repay what you have taken from Jamaica. So I find it funny that people are upset about that, and I think part of it is based on they just hate Harry, and I think a lot of times with Jamaica exerting that, hey, we don't want to be part of this anymore, and I think they're upset about that as well. As almost like we want to have our own, and it's almost like, how dare you? You should be grateful. Yeah, like because we're the great United Kingdom, you should be grateful to be part of the Commonwealth. How dare you throw this present back into her face? Mind you, it is a present that has been bought and paid for with our blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, and our resources of our land. So I just as a Jamaican, I'm just like, it's insulting. Sure, yeah. And at the end of the day, Harry, Meghan, if y'all want to come, relax, come on. We'll love to have you. Come on. We'll love. Exactly. We'll love to have you. And one thing's for sure, Jamaicans absolutely love Princess Diana, so she'll always have her children will always have a soft place in our hearts. So yeah.
Yeah, my mom. One thing about mommy is she loves her some
Meghan and Harry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's cute. That's all she does. I see her YouTube history and just all the gossip and stuff. So,
but anyways, but that was our grab bag for today. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit of everything today. And we're gonna get out of here, but you guys enjoy your Wednesday as you're listening to this. I hope you guys listen on your way into work and you get to talk about it with your friends. Okay, so we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
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 And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you? I'm
only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right, well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.